What's up guys, Hades here. So today is really important. I'm going to go through every normal shop that we have on a day-to-day basis and explain exactly what you should and should not be buying, because I've seen a lot of people making big mistakes, especially when people ask me for advice. I advise them in another way just so we're all clear. Okay, I'm going to go through all the normal ones. I'm not going to go through the event ones because I cover those as they come up. Now, the first one is the arena shop. This one is important because there's only two things you should be buying. First is the Stardust. Every time this is available, get the Stardust. The second one is the Wind Dragon Crystals. Whether you're building wind or not, the other stuff is all fluff and garbage. Do not buy it, especially these Dragon Crystals. Now, do not buy these Dragon Crystals. When you do the math really quick and you look at the price difference, well, let's say you spent 40,000 on this left one instead, right? You divide that by 500 and you get 80. Then you multiply it by 10 and you only get 800 shards versus 6,000 for the same price. It is a scam. Do not go for this one. Only this one. It does take about 2 seasons, but this is the only one you should be buying. Next shop is going to be the Mysterium Shop. If you didn't know, you can actually open most shops right here. This one is a little bit unique. Now, I highly recommend going for the artifact of an immortal you need. So currently, I am working on finishing my kin artifact. It's level 4. I want to make it 5. I spend here. This one's a little more flexible as there are a lot of options, but I would recommend not going for the faces. They are not needed. And do not go for teleports on your main. You can just switch those over for free from your alts, okay? Go for the artifacts first, assuming you even need them. If you don't, then you can think about the frames, but I would not recommend the frames. The next shop is the Trish shop. You do have the Cinders of Wishes if you do trash some skills. Always prioritize the top tier skills. If you have not watched my skill tier list, and if you haven't watched my build videos, go and watch those so you know what to build. You want no escape, you want energy, you want things like this in your main team. Then once you have all the secure skills, then go for the artifacts. You might want to get one artifact, but don't go for don't spend con here, because you could just get con for free through the events. With these chests, these are free. You get these for free over time with the events, okay? So do not waste in the Trish shop. Okay, the next shop is the Alliance shop. This shop has one price, or one option, and one option only. The next shop is the Alliance shop. There is only one true option here, and it is space portals. Space portals cost $5. Here, they're free. You get these coins as you play the game. You get them through donating KVK, but these are free, right? I buy these all the time. I have 104, just naturally buying them every couple days, every few days, here and there. It's better to be safe than sorry. Even if you don't plan on leaving, space portals are always the best option. Do not waste it on anything else in this shop. It is not worth it. This is the only serious buy in this shop. The next shop is the Golden Path Merit shop. Now, this one, I would pick up the most important dragons to you. I have touched on that in the past. I think the mountain is very good. Unless you upgraded to the honor and HP skin, then this one's not so good anymore. And it really depends on how old your account is when you watch this video. There may be some value to some of these. March speed is hard to obtain. There's only one skin that really gives it, except for this one. And then you have to think about which immortals best fit you. I think YSS is a core staple to many teams. Syndiok as well if you're running fire with Trajan. And then if you're not, I actually pick up these big AP pots quite frequently, and when I need them, I pick up the space portals. They're all good value. I'm not a huge fan of the Moonlight and Dust for these. However, if you really need them, this is another option to grab them. This is one of the best, most flexible shops in the game. Do not forget about it. And if you're an aesthetic person, you can also get some of the little frames and chat boxes here as well. Another shop that's a little bit hidden is the daily shop for the pearls. We have the pearl shop. Now, this one again is very flexible. I think it's more valuable to get these immortals in the merit shop for gems and merits just in general. However, if you're really trying to rush an immortal, this is another option to get them twice as fast. Now, there's two main things I've used this shop for. The first one is sun crystals and power crystals. I prefer getting the pearls and putting them here rather than getting these sun crystals through straight up purchasing. I just think they're better deals, and this is what I go for. There have been times in the game when I buy the keys. I do not recommend it. There has been times when I bought the shadow crystals. Unless you're a huge spender, again, I do not recommend it. There are a few immortals I've bought here and there as I needed them. I was one time 15 away from finishing Alex, and I like to stack up some pearls, and I get a few Alex to finish him in a new specialization. So this is one of the most flexible shops as well, the same as the last one. If you really need some of these heroes, you can get them here. I also do recommend the dust from time to time. Dust is very hard to obtain, and you can technically get 20 a day for $6, which depends on your account, depends on your growth pattern, depends what you are looking for. So this shop is very flexible. The next shop is the VIP point shop. Now, this one is a little bit tricky, and it really depends on your account, so pay attention carefully, right? If you are a big spender and you're VIP 15, of course, I'm mainly talking about you need to decide holy or shadow, and you kind of need to pick one because they're so expensive. You're really only gonna ever get one. I think the holy dragon is the best dragon in the game. However, the shadow dragon is very strong, and you're gonna have to pick between these two. I think everything else here is absolute garbage, but of course, to each their own. I have purchased one or two epic chests in the past when I was rushing a dragon, but I kind of regret it and wish I just had more points for the holy dragon. Now, the last shop is actually not really a shop at all. This just kind of gives you that standard price deviation for everything. You should never be buying things from here. You should only be getting things that are cheaper than this shop. I would never use this shop. I do not recommend it. However, there's one exception and one exception only. For players who are not yet VIP 15, I do think there is a time and a place to purchase VIP with gems. This is the only exception to this rule. I did do this when I was a newer account in my first year playing, because I was a very medium spender on a pretty big alliance. So I got a lot of free VIP, but I really tried pushing to VIP 15, and 50 to 100k gems over the course of a year is something you might want to consider. And I guess this 500. They're all exactly the same. It's one VIP for one gem. So these can make a difference. Everything else is not good. You can get them so much cheaper in many other ways. I do not recommend it at all. One bonus little shop here. This shows up every weekend. I do think there is some merit to buying some Stardust, as it is very hard to obtain, and the first couple purchases are some of the best value you can get. Same goes with Crimson Moonlight. If you are a big spender or a Chaos player, these both have a lot of value. The rest, in my opinion, don't really have a lot of value, but these two definitely hold their own when it comes to using your gems to grow your account. And yeah, if you guys like this kind of content and if you find it helpful, make sure to leave a comment and a like in this video, and I will catch you in the next one.